Please stand for the Pledge Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sergio, roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona.
I'm here.
Yolanda's here. John Gill.
Here.
Donna Little.
Here.
Jason Vlasic.
Here.
Bob Brolson.
Here.
Attorney Adam Decker.
Here.
Engineer Ken Kraus.
Here.
Councilman Liaison Brian Blazak.
Present.
And Town Manager Chris Salatas.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. There's been an item added to the agenda for public hearing, Bramblewood Unit 3, Lot 158. Can we have a motion to add that?
I'll make a motion to add Bramblewood Unit 3, Lot 158, rear yard easement reduction to the public hearing lists, as the item was inadvertently omitted from the agenda, but it was discussed at the last study session.
Okay, so we have a motion for Bramblewood Unit 3, Lot 158, rear yard easement reduction. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Bob Brolson.
Yes.
Yolanda Cardona.
Yes.
John Gill.
Yes.
Donna Little.
Yes.
Jason Vlasic.
Yes.
Okay, 5-0, we'll add it to the list. First item on list, item A, the gates of St. John, Unit 17B.
Good evening, Plan Commission members. My name is Tim Kuiper here on behalf of BLB St. John LLC. If I could, I'd like to hand this out real quick. Again, my name is Tim Kuiper. We're here tonight on a public hearing for what we had submitted as a mandatory secondary plat, which has been advertised for a primary plat, replat. What we're here on tonight is lots 1420 and 1421, which will be composed of 120 owner-occupied row homes. Annexation Ordinance 1396 designated this property as R4 PUD, and pursuant to that agreement, only site plan review was required to build on that property. Pursuant to Section 5 of a 2021 settlement agreement with the town, the densities for these two lots was reduced from 242 units down to the proposed 120 units that you have before you tonight. Originally, also, these were set to be one building on each lot that would have been 7 stories tall. Pursuant to Section 5 of that 2021 settlement agreement, again with the town, all buildings are to have hardy board, smart siding, or masonry exteriors all the way around those buildings. What you have before you is private roads. They will not be public roads. There has been an engineering letter issued by Ken Kraus today. All sanitary, water, including fire protection, is satisfactory and meets the town requirements for the preliminary plat. And there was a question, but the sewers and water mains would be public once installed, tested, and then accepted. At the last meeting, there was mention, at least at the study session, of a fire department and police department letters. I did receive those after that meeting. The fire department letter, there's concerns over access and egress. Multiple entrances would help. Street name of Park Avenue and water supply issues. Those are the 4 main issues in that letter. The police department letter had concerns of ingress and egress, too many units, entrance, exit by roundabout, and Park Avenue name is confusing. We have changed the name of Park Avenue to Pine Avenue to avoid that confusion and that issue for both the police and the fire. The roundabout originally was designed to accommodate the 242 units that were supposed to be on these two lots, as well as the commercial property to the east. Further, Park Place across the street entrance is directly on a roundabout, has more units, and has no traffic concerns or issues, and first responders frequent that facility due to the age of some of the occupants and health issues that they have. I handed out to you tonight just a quick illustration to just highlight a couple of things for you. But the entire perimeter of these two lots, almost, except for lot 993, is accessible for fire or emergency vehicles. And that's highlighted in blue around the perimeter of both of those lots. That also includes the Suncrest property to the south and the east of lot 1421. That's the southern lot. And they have committed that they're going to leave that property open there to be part of their parking lot. And you can see, although not approved, they're designed for some of the parking to the east there of lot 421. There are 12 fire hydrants on numerous water mains within 300 feet of the two lots. And the pink dots on that show the location approximately of each of the fire hydrants, many of which, and most of which, are already installed and on the property or immediately close to the property. There are multiple, and I'm sorry, also on those two lots, that's the main backbone of the water distribution system, with the pump house being less than 300 feet away to the northwest there, and also the water tower. There are multiple points of access on both lots. We've highlighted those in orange on there to alleviate some of those concerns that, again, the fire and police had raised. And then, just as a note, even if all of the current town fire vehicles, so trucks, pumpers, everything, were to connect to all the hydrants over there, they still could not outpump the amount of water that is running through those lines. That's how much water is in this location. And again, the engineer said that the fire protection, the water is sufficient for that. With that, I know that none of you have had anything really to do with the zoning of this property when it originally happened, and are not excited about the density of the R4 PUD zoning designation. But because this is a plating process, it is a ministerial act that requires approval pursuant to Indiana Code 3674-707 if the subdivision ordinance requirements are met for the zoning of the property. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have and to respond after public comments for any questions, but otherwise we're requesting your favorable approval of this item tonight.
Tim, this is Yolanda. Sorry, I stayed home because I'm fighting a cold today, so I didn't want to get you all sick by going there in person. But let me ask you this. Did we, what you're referencing is in front of the commissioners right now. Is there an electronic version of that I can maybe take a look at?
Yes, Yolanda, this is Sergio. That was mailed out this morning. It was we received it this morning and we forwarded it immediately to the commissioner, so it should be received via email.
Not a problem. I'll find it,
Okay.
Sergio.
Yep. It was sometime before 10, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I see it. What about the letters from the police? Was that also mailed?
Yeah, that was emailed last month prior to the study session.
That's right. Okay. Gotcha.
Tim, you mentioned density, and that this plan commission didn't have any matter of zoning this, any choice in the matter. And that concerns me too, is the density and these two letters, one from the police department and the police chief and one from the fire chief, stating the density, stating access to fight fires, the dead-end streets, having sufficient enough space for cars to move in and out without hitting one another. You know, the list goes on and on and on. And I don't know about the other plan commission members, but I know it concerns me when I have 2 letters, long letters, from both the chief and the police chief and the fire chief. This blue line show access. What is it? Can you drive a vehicle on it? Or, I mean, because last time I looked at this, there was
All of the orange spots on that would
What's
be,
that?
all of the orange colored spots would be access in and to there. The blue gives you an idea. If the fire department was going to fight a fire in there, they would have access all the way around the lots in addition to internal circulation.
So is that the blue, is that a hard surface, or what is that?
The blue is, yes.
Blue is.
They're roads or will be parking lots, again, on the Suncrest property to the east and south.
How about the orange ones? What are the orange ones gonna be then? What's gonna stop everybody from just using those as a road? Emergency access roads?
So some of them will be impervious surface, so like the south of 421, there will be some green grass there, but it'll be hard underneath so that vehicles can travel on that. We don't want it in and out through those vehicles. We want to turn everybody towards that roundabout area, 107th, and push everybody towards that.
Let me ask you this, Tim. I see what you're saying here in terms of potential ways to address the concerns that were raised by the fire and the police. Have they had an opportunity to maybe look at what you're saying could be done to address those concerns? Or is this sort of a something that you're proposing that could potentially work, that may address their concerns?
Most of the items on this were on there before. The police and fire just didn't necessarily have the detail or the understanding to look at the plans that were in front of them. Literally, you could go out there and look at the fire hydrants and see them right now and see how close they are to everything. I mean, when you're talking about water volume and the chief just speculates that you would have drawn, you wouldn't have enough. You have an engineer that makes the calculations to determine water volume, sizes of pipes and things like that. And he's checked off on that, as well as our own engineers who have said that basically if you had every piece of equipment out there, they could not suck those lines dry. You just have so much water from the water tower and the pump house that's right there. So again, all of those things, or almost all of those things were there. Most of the comments in general are just that, general comments. They're not excited about the number of units. They don't like the access or the smaller roads, but they don't say how wide they'd want to see the roads. Again, there's not a lot of things that I can address except to generally show what's on the plan and the specifics to try to respond and counter those more general statements with specifics of what's been presented.
Got you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Anyone else have any questions?
Bob, let me ask something else. In terms of, I'm looking specifically at the police department, the letter issued by the police department. I think you said this already, but how are we addressing the ingress and the egress in terms of them being concerned that it's only one, basically one way and one way out? I think I didn't catch what you said in terms of how you were addressing that. Can you just repeat it for me, please?
Lot 1420 does have 2 points of ingress and egress, one off 107th and then one off that east, or the road to the east of that lot, that north-south little road. Lot 421 only has one physical access to that property, but has several means if emergency vehicles needed to get in there. And if you could see the drawing that is in front of us, the orange represents those other points of access if they needed to, that they could literally drive on without sinking vehicles and things like that.
So you don't want to take the police department's recommendation that you put a road around the entire property and cut some of the units out to accommodate that?
I don't know if it's a matter of want or not, but there's road or impervious surface almost all the way around it right now. And it would be very unusual for any lot or development to have a road that's literally around the lot. I can't think of any other one right now in town that you have.
And I guess, will these residents have access to this paved areas around these two units?
No, they would still go in and out of the main drives. The residents would. It would only be for emergency vehicles, again, for safety concerns, as the police and fire have requested.
That was one of the other issues, though, that it would create a trap and a bottleneck situation. that
If
the
we
police
had that,
department
we
brought
would
up.
be experiencing that on the other side of the street with
Those
Parkland.
residents rarely, I would say, leave that property, not like you're going to see coming out of this one, where those are in
These- the-
assisted living.
And I appreciate that. These two lots, though, were designed for 242 units, along with the undeveloped property to the east. This road, 107th, and this roundabout were designed for that. So this is a reduction in the amount of units and vehicles that would be coming out of here. And again, it's speculation. It's not like everybody's going to leave all of a sudden at one time in the morning. It's not like we're the school where everybody's dropping off at 7:30 in the morning. That creates a bottleneck situation.
I guess you could have a situation, and it might be rare, but a catastrophic fire, buildings are burning, and there's somebody blocking the entrance and you can't get out. You gotta run out, you can't drive out.
They could drive over those areas if they needed to. They certainly could.
How would they drive out?
Over grass?
Over the
is
orange
that what you're
dots that
saying?
are there.
Is that grass mostly?
Most of those will look like grass, but underneath will be a hard surface, so that, again, a 80,000-pound truck could drive over that without sinking.
Is there any other questions? If not, this is a public hearing. I'd like to open up to a public hearing. Ken, is there anybody signed in to speak?
Quite a few.
Okay. First person on the list, Dan Kia. This is for the Gates of St. John, Unit 17. Would you like to speak?
No, I'm here for the second.
Okay. Leslie Hayden?
No, I just thought it was a sign and it was my misunderstanding.
Okay, that's okay. Mike?
No, that's me.
Okay. Don Cox? No. Nancy Davis?
No.
John Hayden?
No.
Linda?
Breeders, no,
Frit-
here for the comments also.
Okay. Mary Ellen? No, okay. I guess, this is Leonard? I'm not, okay. Thomas J. Ball? No. Okay. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak with regards to the Gates of St. John, Unit 17B? Please come up to the podium, sir.
Yes, excuse me. My name is
Say-
Jim Gallagher. I live in Orchard Gate. I
What's
just
your
have-
name again? I'm sorry.
Jim Gallagher.
Address, please.
Address, please.
10684 Juniper Lane.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question about the density of these units. These are row houses, and they're right on top of each other. And somebody mentioned about catastrophic fire or something like that, well, there's no separation on these units at all. I mean, you're one on top of the other. Where are these people going? What is the age group that this development is trying to attract? Is this over 55? Or, you know, if it's over 55, you know, there's going to be a lot of people home all the time, like across the street. Across the street, that's apples and oranges. Those people don't travel. That's a retirement community, so you're not going to have that traffic there. We're going to have traffic from the Christian school down the street. And like I said, my main concern is just the density of these units being one on top of the other. There's gridlock in there now. That's a shortcut for everybody going through Sterling Gate and the gates of St. John. And just, it's a big safety concern for everybody. And I just wanted to express that, because the design of these buildings, I believe the garages are in the back of the buildings, if I'm correct. So they're back to back, and it's really a fire engine would have a hard time getting in and out of a situation like that, even getting into that road. And the curvature of the road, and it would depend on what time of the year, the snow, the rain, and just in the roundabout being right there at the entrance too. That's a little gridlock situation right now. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Anyone else would like to speak with regards to this development? Anybody online would like to speak? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Yeah, Jim, you mentioned, you know, with the density and the fire, and the chief, he did bring that up. He said, you know, the firewalls, I'm not sure exactly how he said it, but firewalls will be built in between each unit, but even that, it'll slow it down, but it wouldn't stop the fires. Tim, you want to add any comments, or?
These buildings will all be built according to fire code, so they'll have at least a 2-hour fire rating in between them, plus the shingles and everything else on top of them. So it's actually more of a break than it would be with your separation of 10 foot between houses that just have flammable material on the sides of them. Again, that's all approved downstate and through the fire marshal's office, through the Department of Homeland Security. But it'll meet all those requirements.
Okay, I bring it back to the board. Anybody have any comments or discussions or concerns?
So Tim, you said that would be approved downstate, so they are going to consider a commercial class 1 structure and get a design release?
My understanding is that anytime you have more than 4 units that are connected, you have to get the commercial design release from downstate, so that would have to go through that process.
Okay.
Okay, if there's no other questions, bring it back to the board. We're looking to approve, deny, or defer. Do I have a motion? Again, do I have a motion to approve, deny, or defer the proposed preliminary plat, primary plat, amended for lots 1420 and 1421 for the gates of St. John, Unit 17B?
I'll make a motion.
Bob, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve, deny, or defer. Gates of St. John 17B.
Well, one of those.
I move to deny.
So I have a motion to deny the Gates of St. John Unit 17B for lots 1420 and 1421. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes.
And pursuant to Indiana Code 3674-707, you are required to have written findings for the denial and specifically why it was denied tonight. So I'd appreciate receiving those once it's done. Otherwise, thank you and have a good evening.
5-0, motion to deny. 5-0. Second item on the list, St. John Commons, proposed rezone to PUD for mixed-use development, approximately 10 paired villa homes and 10 second-floor, 1- and 2-level condos.
Nick Georgiou, Sumac Architects, 912 West Avenue H, Griffith, Indiana, representing the ownership tonight. Also,
Good evening, Nathan Viss with Viss Law, also representing St. John Commons this evening. Before we begin, we want to be prudent with the commission's time here this evening. I spoke with Attorney Decker earlier in the week once this came to our attention, but on or before the 15th of the month, we had submitted to both the Post-Tribune as well as to the Northern Indiana Times the proper notice that is required prior to this evening. On the 15th of this month, we received back from both of those newspapers that they were planning on running the ads they had given to us, the samples. Unfortunately, we learned this past week that one of them, the Post-Tribune, decided not to run one of the notices until the 24th. This came as a blindside to us. We had properly put out the notices in the public facing the street, as everyone may have seen when driving by. But before we begin this evening, we just want to be very candid as to what happened with the notice. Now, in speaking with Mr. Decker earlier in the week when I saw him, it's my observation that I believe that there's substantial compliance with the notice so that we can move forward, and that's based upon a couple different fronts. Number one, it was timely submitted to the newspaper, and we were of the perception that they had published it. Number two, one of them did timely publish it, and on top of that, there was also public notice that was issued both, I believe, on the St. John municipal website in meeting with the Indiana Code 5312, as well as there was substantial publication with the large sign that was placed out in front of this proposed development. It's awesome to see that earlier this evening we had a couple of people actually check in. Very much the public has been aware of this development. I believe it's been a part of this commission probably for the last 8 to 10 months. It's been in the public's eye. It's been in the newspaper several times. Nothing has been hidden. There's not been any substantial changes to what's being proposed here this evening. We're prepared to move forward. I think it would be good for the public who's here to be able to weigh in. So we would request that any alleged deficiencies that can be perceived be waived, set aside. I believe you have that right as a commission so that we can move forward with this project.
So I hope everybody on the Plan Commission understands what's going on. So 2 newspapers, one was printed and the other one wasn't. I know it's the town council's wishes to have 2 publications printed. And And me personally, I don't want to go against the town council's wishes. So with that, I don't know if anybody else has any comments or questions here present or online.
So it was published in only one though, right? I mean, there was that one done.
It was published in both. One was more than 10 days before this hearing. The other occurred on the 24th of September, so approximately 7 days before this hearing. Unfortunately, we were informed that it was going to be published on about the 16th, and it wasn't. So one was more than 10 days, one was 7 days. On top of that, we had notice, like I said, via websites, as well as notice with the sign that was out front of the development.
Any other questions? Mr. Decker, like to have your legal counsel advice?
Mr. Chair, council is correct in stating that this procedure, which is basically the procedure for providing notice of the public hearing for the Plan Commission's review and consideration of the change in zone maps to PUD Development District, which is before you tonight for this item, specifically requires that notice be given not less than 10 days before the date set for the hearing. That statute also provides that the Plan Commission, through its rules and regulations, has authority to determine how that notice is to be given and to whom, and the methods for doing so. And your rules and regulations are clear in that they require the notice be published in 2 separate newspapers, with that publication date not being less than 10 days prior to the date of the hearing. So there are provisions in the rules and regulations that allow the Plan Commission to consider waivers from the subdivision control ordinance. There is nothing in the rules and regulations that allows the Plan Commission to consider waivers regarding its rules and regulations for those hearings. So my opinion is that the applicant has failed to meet the standards for a hearing, and I would recommend that it be deferred to next month.
Any questions from the Plan Commission? With that, do I have a motion for St. John Commons to defer till next month's regular meeting?
I'll make the motion to defer St. John Commons to next month, regular meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardono,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, just 2 points of clarification. One, I don't know if it would be appropriate or not to allow the fine folks that have come this evening to at least give formally their thoughts. I have no idea if they're for or against. We acknowledge that the vote will happen next month, but they've come out this evening, so I do think it'd be appropriate to hear from them. Number 2, just as a point of clarification, and perhaps your counsel will need to advise us in writing, but are you requesting that we republish everything again, new sign, new notices being sent out to all adjacent landowners, new publication, the 2 newspapers, or not? Just a point of clarification so that we're ready for the next month.
Yep. Mr. Chairman, my recommendation is they're required to start over.
Start over and do it all. Yeah, we have to.
And that if this matter's been deferred, that it would not be appropriate, except for perhaps the last item tonight, which would be public comment, to receive those comments.
Okay.
If there are persons here who wish to speak, but to certainly notify them of when the next meeting will be. I believe it's January 5th.
Yes.
January 5th.
Of 2022, and provide them with that information so that they can be present to offer comments at that meeting.
So with that, if there's anybody in the audience that would like to make comment, we can open it up at the end of our public hearings. We have 2 more after this one, and then you can come up to the podium and,
I think you'd be at the end of the meeting, Bob.
end of the meeting?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, end of the meeting. So we got 13 items we have to go through. So I'm sorry. We're just trying to, dot our i's and cross our t's, and I appreciate everyone coming out, because I've been out in that audience too, and been to meetings, come here, and then they get postponed or deferred, and so I understand, what you're going through.
It's a very simple question. I think we're all here
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
you need to take order.
Yeah, no, let's wait till the final public meeting, public comment. I'm sorry, yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the list, item C, Avondale Estate Subdivision, proposed preliminary/primary plat at 8656 for a 1-lot subdivision.
Good evening, Doug Reddick with DVG, representing Josh Nooner of Distinctive Home Builders regarding this 1-lot subdivision at 8656 Montfort Drive.
Wait a
in
minute.
St. John.
Please, excuse me.
Nobody's sticking around for the 13 other items. I am
Sorry, Doug, go ahead.
That's all right. Again, it's a 1-lot subdivision on the west side of Montfort Drive. It's an area that was broken up into 100 by 200 foot parcels many years ago. And a lot of actually most of the parcels were built on, but this one has remained vacant for many years. And it was never subdivided. These are acreage parcels. They were not an official subdivision like we typically do now. So we're just here to do a 1-lot subdivision for an existing parcel that measures 100 by 200. We came before the BZA to request a reduction on the square footage of the lot. Your R1 requirement is 20,000 square feet, which is 100 by 200. But because we are subdividing it, we have to dedicate 30 foot for the road dedication for Montfort. So we don't technically meet the square footage requirement. So the BZA was okay with that. They've given us that variance. So now we're just following through with our 1-lot subdivision. Again, the street's in place, the sewer's in place, the water main's in place. We're not really changing anything there. It should have been built on years ago. It just never happened. So we're doing some cleanup work. So that's what we're here for tonight, for a 1-lot subdivision.
Okay, is there any questions? People that are present or online?
You did say you wanted the curb and sidewalk waiver.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, we are asking for a waiver for curbs and sidewalks because, again, the street's been there for many, many years, and there are no curbs and there are no sidewalks, and there is a bit of a roadside ditch, so the sidewalk wouldn't really be too conducive with the roadside ditch being where it is.
So what would the first motion be, to waive the sidewalk and, Mr. Decker?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I
Would
was
the
distracted.
first motion be to waive the sidewalk and curb?
That, you certainly could take it up if that would be the prerogative of the commission. As I indicated earlier, the Plan Commission can waive and has authority to waive standards in the subdivision control ordinance. So I think that would be appropriate.
Okay, looking for a motion to waive the curb and sidewalk for Avondale Estates subdivision.
I'll make a motion that we grant a curb waiver and sidewalk waiver to Avondale Estates based on the topography of the street and the neighboring properties being curbless and sidewalkless.
Okay, I have a motion to waive the curb and sidewalk for Avondale Estates subdivision. Do I have a second?
Second.
Vote, roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes. Okay, now, next is a motion to approve, deny, or, well, I guess we'd be approving, approve the Avondale Estate subdivision.
I'll make a motion, we we approve the primary plat for Avondale Estates, the one-lot subdivision.
I have a motion to approve primary plat for Avondale Estate subdivision, Lot 1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the list, Astoria, proposed rezone to RC-2 PUD for 90 single-family lots and 3 outlets.
Are we gonna,
We do.
are we gonna do Bramblewood?
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. Sorry, guys. Next on the list, Bramblewood, Unit 3, Lot 158, rear yard easement reduction.
Thanks for catching that.
Take on it, thanks.
My name's David Heisinger. I live at 9760 Genevieve Drive, which is the lot in question. Requesting a reduction in the rear yard easement from 35 feet to 15 feet. Appeared at the study session, and this would be contingent on the approval from Lake County Drainage Board and NIPSCO. Both applications have been submitted. There's only been 2 weeks between the study session, but there's an indication of the board at the last meeting that we could have an approval based on a contingency. So that's what the request is.
Okay, any questions?
If you decide to approve this, there should be some contingencies to the approval. And those would be that the utility companies such as NIPSCO, AT&T, Comcast, and also the Lake County Drainage Board also gives their approval for this reduction. So I think your contingency should be, the contingency should be on those also giving their approval for this.
Has St. John looked at this?
We have looked at it. There is no sewer or water or storm in this particular area, so we do not have a problem with giving the reduction. But we do not know if the other utility companies or if the Lake County Drainage Board has plans or need to have the extra footage as is already platted there.
So to that, I've been in contact with them, Lake County and NIPSCO. AT&T and Comcast, their line ends at the back corner of my property, so they're already running along the property line, which is beyond this easement. So, and
Right.
no utilities run through the yard, a lot.
And that's my understanding also, but I do not know if they have future plans to use that easement for, expansion or whatever.
Understood.
So, to get
Would be
their
curious, but
approval for it too, I think is necessary.
What do you,
Ken, let me,
go ahead, Yolanda.
sorry. No, let me just ask this. When we, I think this is fine because it sounds like the town of St. John doesn't have any concerns with it. And I understand that we're making it contingent upon the utility companies and the drainage board also approving it. But say, what would happen if we say, yes, let's move forward and approve this contingent upon those other entities approving it? I mean, what happens if they say no? We don't want to approve this easement reduction because we have future plans to do what? I mean, does it just die there? And who would be sort of monitoring this?
Well, if NIPSCO or AT&T or Comcast or the Lake County Drainage Board say no, they would have to say why they say no. And if they have future plans for this particular area to do something, then if, say, the town said, okay, we approve it contingent upon everybody else saying okay also, but they do not say that they are in favor of this because they have plans, then it would die. There would be no town approval for this because it would be contingent upon the other companies saying that they agree.
So how would St. John know that if?
Right, that's my
They'll have
question.
to produce a letter.
Maybe I can give you some clarity on this. So
Yeah.
this started because I hired a landscape contractor to do some work back there. Part of the contract was he was supposed to get a permit. He did not, unbeknownst to me. I was notified by the town, so part of the work there, and it is shown on one of the drawings of the easement reduction, there was a pavilion put behind my pool. That sits partially in this easement. So I have to get a permit for that. So that's kind of where we're hang up here. So that's going to be, your trigger. I can't get a permit if this doesn't go through. My only Plan B option then is to sign off on this form that you have for being in the easement. Lake County Drainage also has a form to that effect that I would take responsibility. The reality is, given the amount of space, there's 95 feet from the beginning of this easement to the center of the drain. There's plenty of room back there. It's wooded. I'm not that concerned about a utility having to even damage the structure. So,
Yeah, I don't see a real problem with getting the approvals from the other utility companies or from Lake County on this. Lake County does require 75 feet from the top of the bank for maintenance purposes. As he said, he has 95 feet from the center of the ditch. So by the time you get to the top of the bank, maybe they'll make a little bit of squawk about that. But I really don't see them doing that.
Okay. So is there somewhere on this plat that St. John would sign off on this before it goes to the county?
Yeah, they wouldn't let them sign it and record it until we had
Till
all the
St.
ducks in a
John?
row.
Okay.
Right. And like I said, there is no town utilities back there. So from the town standpoint, there's no reason to not give them the easement reduction other than the other utility companies in Lake County may have some reason not to. And I don't want to say, okay, the town gives them approval to reduce the easement, and then one of the other entities say, oh, wait a minute, we need to have that easement for our other purpose.
Yep.
And I don't see in our packet an application or anything, so I think maybe we should make that contingent on him actually applying for the plan commission spot and paying the review fee and such. If he hasn't, I don't know, I didn't see anything in our packet that said he actually formally applied for.
the forms were submitted in October.
So we have the application, we don't have the fees collected.
And that the landscaper submitted those I talked to them today. They weren't aware that there was a $1,500 fee for an easement review. So if whatever needs to be done, we're willing to do.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, looking for a motion for Bramblewood Unit 3, Lot 158, a motion to approve.
Public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Want to open up to a public hearing? Anybody in the audience want to make a public comment? Anyone online? Going once, going twice. Public hearing closed. Okay, looking for a motion for Bramblewood Unit 3, Lot 158, contingent on all the utility companies to grant a waiver, or in Lake County Drainage to grant a waiver. So this motion is to approve, deny, or defer.
I'll make a motion to approve the easement reduction from Bramblewood Units 5, Lot 158, contingent upon the utility companies and the Lake County Drainage Board approving this as well, and the fees be paid appropriately.
Okay, I have a motion for Bramblewood to approve Unit 3, Lot 158, contingent on utility companies and the Lake County Drainage Board to sign off, and the fee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
Bob Brolson.
Yes. Okay. Next item on the list, Astoria, proposed rezone to RC-2 PUD for 90 single-family lots and 3 outlots at 10122 Parish Avenue.
Hello, Commissioners. My name is Michael Herbers with Diamond Peak Homes out of Crown Point, Indiana. Presenting our Astoria development, looking for a favorable recommendation on this RC2 PUD. Now, we've been in front of you since April earlier this year, so I'm quite sure you're very familiar with this project. So I will just kind of briefly recap everything just to bring you up to speed with everything. Currently, it is 69.44 acres. We are proposing 90 single-family homes in this development. We did decide to go with a mix width of lots. Listening to what you guys had to say over the last couple months with not being too pleased with the 80-footers, so we do have 80s, 90s, and 100-foot lots in this development. Just confirming the numbers, we have 37 100-foot lots, 27 90-foot lots, and 26 80-foot lots. Again,
Say the numbers again, 37, 27, and 26?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, the reason for the RC2 PUD are the pipeline and overhead power line easements on this property, which are roughly 16 acres, which is 23% of the parcel. And then south of that power line easement, there's about 6.5 acres that, due to the easements and setbacks, we can't put any homes there, so that's an additional 6 acres or so that we can't develop. So all in all, we're right around 30% of unusable land on this piece. Now, with that being said, it can be a blessing in disguise because we will have ample green space, we will have a park, we will have a bike path moving east to west on the property, and of course, we will do the town sidewalk running north and south along Parish. So with that being said, we are looking, like I said, looking for a favorable recommendation. We are open to any other questions that you guys may have on this proposal as well.
wide is the sidewalk you're planning on doing on Parish? Do you know?
I believe it's an 8-foot sidewalk.
On Parish, are you looking for a waiver for curb on Parish Avenue?
Well, that'll be during the primary plat approval.
Primary plat, okay.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, yeah, for the zoning,
Yeah.
yep, I'm jumping ahead. Okay, anyone have any questions? Okay, looking for a motion?
Just open the public hearing.
Wait, no, we already had it.
We already had it.
Never mind.
Yep.
Ignore me.
They all left anyway.
Always or just right now?
Whatever you want.
Looking for a motion to approve, deny, or defer Astoria proposed rezone to RC-2 PUD.
Is this a recommendation to the town
Recommendation.
council?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
That's correct.
I'll make a motion to give a favorable recommendation to the town council to rezone Astoria to RC2 PUD for 90 single-family lots and 3 outlots at 10122 Parish Avenue. Currently zoned open space.
I have a motion to approve Astoria proposed rezone to RC-2 PUD for 90 single-family lots and 3 outlots at 10122 Parish Avenue. Do I have a second?
I'll second it. This is Yolanda.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
Bob Rolson.
Yes.
Thank you.
5-0 approval. Next item on the list, Three Springs Addition, Phase 3, Block 1.
It's just a signing of the Mylar,
Right.
just for notification.
Yeah. The Mylars are in your possession, Sergio? Right?
Yes, right
So
here.
it's just a matter of, we'd like to get those signed at, Mr. Kennedy needs to sign though, correct?
No, we'll have Bob Rolson sign in his place.
Okay, so I just wanted to stick around for that, so.
Any questions from the board? Hearing none. Need a motion to approve, deny, or defer Three Springs Addition, Phase 3, Block 1.
Technically, it was approved a month
Yeah.
or two ago.
Okay,
It's
just
signing the
approval.
Mylars.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you
Yep.
actually need the motion. but it was
We need
approved.
them.
I seem to recall that's the case, where you don't have to take action to direct your staff to
Okay.
sign the Mylar. I don't think that's required.
No.
So, I agree.
Okay. Gates of St. John, Unit 1H. Signing a Mylar for a 3-lot subdivision. Same thing?
No,
Yeah, it's the same, just acknowledgement of signing the Mylars this evening.
Okay.
The only, I think, discussion may be the current zoning. We have identified as a public zone classification that we would just have them rezone to R3 PUD.
So we need a motion for this? No?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so, Mr.
No.
Chairman. I don't think that's required. I think that's already been addressed
Okay.
by the approval of the plat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where are we at? G, the Gates of St. John, Unit 23B, acceptance of performance security for a 50-lot subdivision, single-family home zone R2 PUD. So let me read Ken's letter. We have reviewed the secondary plat for the reference project and have the following comments. This subdivision project is for 50 residential lots and associated rights-of-way. We have reviewed the secondary plat and find it to be satisfactory. The application fee is calculated as 50 lots, $10,000, and should be paid prior to signing the secondary plat. The developmental fee is $1,682.74 and is calculated at 2% of the construction cost minus the paid application fee. $11,682.74 minus $10,000 equals $1,682.74. Number 5, the public improvements have not been completed. An irrevocable letter of credit in the amount of $16,610 to cover the cost of public improvements not yet completed should be submitted to the town, or a surety bond or other method of ensuring the completion of this work is submitted should be in the amount of $19,630.
I think there's 4 items on the agenda tonight that asks to reduce or get rid of the irrevocable letter of credit or surety bond. I just got the notice yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Bob Davis at Public Works whether there's a punch list or not, except for Summerlin Unit 2, which I've heard from them that they're all done. There's no punch list. Everything is done. But the other 3, including this one, I haven't heard back from Public Works whether or not everything is completed. There was some problems with Mill Creek Phase 6, that there was some problem with the street lights. But I haven't heard anything on any of the other subdivisions that are up for release of irrevocable letters of credit or surety bonds tonight. And I know Sergio was in a meeting with Chris yesterday about, with the department heads. I don't know if this was a topic of discussion with them or not.
No.
This would not have been, Bob was off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that they've asked for release of their surety bonds and replace it with a maintenance bond. Like I said, the Summerlin Phase 2 is okay to do that. I don't have information on Summerlin Phase 3, Mill Creek Phase 6, and what was the other one? Walden Clearing Phase 3?
Phase 3.
Is it okay if I comment real quick?
Certainly.
So Jeff Yatsko with Olthoff Homes. Obviously, we're involved in all 4 of these bond releases. I think there's been a little bit of confusion. So I only requested the Surety release on Summerlin Phase 2 and Mill Creek Phase 6. I think in an email, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, I had said that the other two would be forthcoming because we actually just got the streetlights up in Walden and Summerlin Phase 3. So I never actually formally asked for those to be released yet, so those will be probably in January. But I did request the Summerlin Phase 2 performance to be released and the Mill Creek Phase 6. I was just made aware this week that there was a streetlight that had been inoperable. I believe Boonder went out and fixed that. They found the break. There was a break in the line. So that's the only thing I know about Mill Creek. Now, you are correct. I have not seen a punch list. I haven't really gotten much correspondence on these. So I'm kind of in the dark as well. I don't really know where these sit.
So the only ones, let's see, Gates.
They're actually, at
So
this
you,
time, they're
security
actually
release.
already.
You're looking for security releases, Summerlin Estates Phase 2 and Surety release, Mill Creek Phase 6?
Correct.
Those
Those were the two I had requested.
Yeah, and the only one that I know of for sure is Summerlin Phase 2. I haven't heard from Public Works about Mill Creek Phase 6. So I don't know if there's things that need to be taken care of before we release the money for that phase or not.
Yeah. Well, we're on G.
Yeah.
Gates of St. John, Unit 23. Is this something we defer? Sounds like we're deferring it.
G is the acceptance of a performance surety for the installation of the infrastructure.
Oh, okay. That's all they want?
Yes, and we need a motion to accept that, so that way we can have a memo sent over to the town council authorizing the clerk treasurer to accept that amount as identified.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the same with the next item for 26B.
With item H as well.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve the Gates of St. John, Unit 23B, their letter of credit amount of $16,610. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the letter of credit for the performance surety bond for the Gates Unit 23B in the amount of $16,610.
So I have a motion to accept the Gates of St. John, Unit 23B, security, is it, you did say a letter of credit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Letter of credit of amount of $16,610. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic.
Yes.
Bob Rolson.
Yes. 5-0 passes. Next item, Gates of St. John, Unit 26B. Acceptance of the performance surety for a 50-lot subdivision. Let me read Ken Krause's letter. We have reviewed the secondary plat for the reference project and have the following comments. This subdivision project is for 52 residential lots and associated rights-of-way. We have reviewed the secondary plat and find it to be satisfactory. The application fee is $10,400 and should be paid prior to signing the secondary plat. Developmental fee is calculated at 2% of the construction cost, $10,395 $6,000.52 minus the paid application fee of $10,395.52 minus $10,400 equals a negative $4.48. The public improvements have not been completed. An irrevocable letter of credit in the amount of $16,280 to cover the cost of public improvements not yet completed should be submitted to the town, or a surety bond or other method of ensuring the completion of this work is submitted should be in the amount of $19,240. Looks like, according to our Sergio, that they want to have a letter of credit of $16,280.
Correct.
Okay.
They've submitted a surety check for, a performance surety check for $16,280.
So looking for a motion, the Gates of St. John, Unit 26B, acceptance of the letter of credit amount of $16,280. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the letter of credit in the amount of $16,280 for the Gates of St. John Unit 26B.
I have a motion to accept the letter of credit of $16,280 for the Gates of St. John, Unit 26B. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Blasick,
Yes.
and Bob Burleson.
Yes. Passes 5-0. Next item on the list, Walden Clearings Phase 3, release of performance surety for a 10-lot subdivision. Again, Ken has a letter. This subdivision includes 10 lots, 2 outlots, and associated facilities on a total of 17.731 acres. We have reviewed the plat and find it to be satisfactory. Developmental fee is $6,091.33. This fee is based on 2% of the construction. Public improvements are not complete. Letter of credit should be submitted to the town in the amount of $68,604.25 to ensure the improvements will be installed, or a surety bond or other method of ensuring the completion of this work is submitted to in the amount of $81,077.75.
Yeah, this is one that I have not heard back from Public Works on if there's a punch list or not. So I don't know if the entire letter of credit can be released.
Right, this is one that I actually didn't even ask to be released yet,
Okay.
so. I will probably, all the improvements are now complete, actually, so I would probably be, asking for that in the January meeting.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to defer Walden Clearing Phase 3 to the January meeting.
I have a motion to defer Walden Clearing Phase 3 for the January meeting. Do I have a second?
Hey there, Brian?
Second.
Jason's got it. John, motion. Jason, second. Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Blasick,
Yes.
and Bob Burleson.
Yes. Okay, no punch list. Next item, J, Summerlin Estates Phase 2. Lease the performance surety of a 20-lot subdivision.
And this is one that I can recommend to be released.
Okay. Read Ken's letter. This subdivision project includes 20 R1 single-family lots, 1 outlot, and associated facilities on 15.272 acres. We have reviewed the plat and find it to be satisfactory. developmental fee for this project is $13,249.15. Some of the public improvements have not been installed. A letter of credit should be submitted to the town in the amount of $262,171.38 to ensure the remaining improvements will be installed, or a surety bond or other method of ensuring the completion of this work is submitted should be in the amount of $309,838.62. So, have a motion to approve the release of the surety bond, Summerlin Estates Phase 2. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Bob, to approve Summerlin Estates Phase 2, the release of the performance of the surety bond.
I have a motion to release the surety bond for Summerlin Estates Phase 2. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes. 5-0 passes. And Summerlin Estates, were you ready on that one? Phase
Not
3?
Phase 3.
Okay.
That's the same as Walden.
Looking for a motion to defer Summerlin Estates Phase 3, release of the performance surety bond.
I'll make a motion that we defer the release of the performance surety bond for Summerlin Estates Phase 3 to the January meeting.
So I have a motion to release the surety bond for Phase 3 Summerlin Estates. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes. Defer 5-0. 5-0, deferred. Milk, next item is L, Mill Creek Phase 6, release of performance surety of a 64-lot subdivision. There are 23 single-family lots and 23 duplex lots, Zone R2 PUD. Read Ken Krause's letter. This subdivision proposed project includes 23 single-family lots and 23 duplex lots, 3 outlets, and associated facilities on 24.942 acres. We have reviewed the plat and find it to be satisfactory. Developmental fee for this project is $18,825.02. Most of the public improvements have been installed. A letter of credit should be submitted to the town in the amount of $52,030 to ensure the remaining improvements will be installed, or a surety bond or amount method of ensuring that completion of this work is submitted. It should be in the amount of $61,490. And you did say the street light was fixed?
Yeah, the streetlight was fixed.
Okay.
And in the past, whenever we've released, or you have released our performance bond, we've usually provided a 2-year maintenance guarantee. I assume that's still the case.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. So,
Yeah.
so with Summerlin Phase 2, obviously, I will, I'll get that over. And the same thing with Mill Creek, if that was released tonight, we'd still have a maintenance guarantee on it for
Right.
2 years.
Yeah, well, Mill Creek Phase 6, I haven't heard back from Public Works on if there's anything else that needs to be addressed before releasing the surety bond, so I would recommend to defer.
Okay. Looking for a motion to defer Mill Creek Phase 6, the release of the surety bond.
Make a motion to defer the release of the performance surety bond for Mill Creek Phase 6 to the January meeting.
I have a motion to defer the performance surety bond for Mill Creek Phase 6. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who wants it? Jason? Jason's got it. Roll call, please.
Yolanda Cardona,
Yes.
John Gill,
Yes.
Donna Little,
Yes.
Jason Vlasic,
Yes.
and Bob Rolson.
Yes. 5-0.
All right, thank you.
5-0 passes. Last item on the list. Gates Water Tower, signing Mylar plat.
We have the Mylar here for signature.
Just need a signature. Public comment? Everybody's gone? Anybody online wants to make public comment? Hearing none? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved.